There we go. Sorry about that. Just a minute. There we go. Sorry about that, friends. Thank you. Somebody sent a chat. Who was it? Oh, a couple of you. Erlinda and Foxhole Willie. Thanks, guys. Whew. Whew. And I should have had my monitor on for some reason. It wasn't. It's late on a Friday night. That's my excuse. How's that? All right. So I gave you just a tour of what I've looked at, what I've finished the last couple of days. Just finished this area an hour ago. So this is very wet. And I'm down to this counterintuitive stage, still fairly new to me, sometime in the last year. I don't remember when. Maybe even the last 6 months. I can't remember. Although I will say, in years past, I've felt like I've been doing something for just a short time, and then with a little bit of research, I discover, oh no, I've been doing it a lot longer than I thought. So I don't know if that's going on. Doesn't matter. This layer, broken color, where the goal, the hope is to match value, that is, put marks down that match the value that's already there, but a different color. Okay, and again, I've also said many times that I feel like if I were a better painter, and hopefully I will be someday, if I just stay alive, chances are good I'll be a better painter, because I'm better now than I was a year ago, and so on and so forth. If I were a better painter, I would think I could incorporate all of this broken color shenanigans, if I can call it that, into the painting process and not have a separate and distinct step. But listen to this. Until I'm that good, this is the best I can do. Fair enough? And I do have a little pattern that I've slipped into, and I'm following it right now. Number one, in the broken color stage, again, just a word of description. This has nothing to do with realism. At this point, I am not trying to capture something realistically other than in a Claude Monet-ish, this is the way human beings actually do see the world. Other than that, no, I'm not trying to do realism. All right, and the pattern I've slipped into, and just in case perhaps any of you want to try to do this with me, if you want to incorporate this into your painting, you don't have to do it the way I do, but here it is. I tend to start with secondary colors, purple, green, orange. And of those three, I even tend to start with purple. So I'm in a rut. I've fallen and I can't get up. I haven't been doing this crazy business very long, and I'm already in a rut now. Of course, I'm being somewhat facetious. If it's a good rut, then it's a routine, it's a formula, it's a process that works for me. If I find myself overdoing it, then it becomes counterproductive. But at the moment, I don't think it is counterproductive. So I just did a bunch of very dark purple stuff. Now I'm going to come in here. I've mixed more titanium white in my purple, so it's a kind of a mid-tone purple, I call it at this point. So I'm no longer looking for real dark areas. I'm looking for mid-tones, and mid-tones that are not purplish. Like right now I'm putting some purple up here in the trees, and that worked quite well. I'm going to do some more over here in the green foliage. some of you might have seen me working on my big 5.5 by 7.5 foot painting just last week down in my garage because it's too big to fit in any of my studios. And I had such a good time doing my broken color stuff that I was actually a little bit worried that I might have gotten a little carried away. So it was one of those moments that I was very glad to have my Painters Forum friends. I took the painting to our monthly Painters Forum and I asked them that directly. You know, did I overdo it? And no, they were quite encouraging and did not feel like I had overdone. They used words like interesting, which of course is the objective. Why am I sticking with this broken color stage? The answer is because it looks cool. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm getting out of your field of focus here a little bit, aren't I? Hey, I'm going to add some more dark. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. As you all know, the danger is when I zoom in like this, then I forget to zoom out when I move. But this is a good area for a broken color because it's brownish green, really, more than anything else. A little bit of orange. In other words, far around the color wheel from purple. So that makes this a good area for doing some broken color. One of the things I've learned in the last couple of months in this broken color phase is to be careful. Way up here in the corner, you don't do dots. Don't do too many dots, right? We've talked about that quite a bit. It's similar to the danger you run into when you're doing sky holes, which should be called tree holes, of course. It's real easy to get dotty, and if you do sky holes poorly, they become sky dots. In fact, one of my decades-long weaknesses in painting has been over dotification. And that means I need to enter in the painting process into a little bit of anti-dotification. Anyway, so the point being here, the broken color, trying to make interesting marks. I'm saying to myself, don't find yourself doing the same mark over and over and over. Oh, and there, I just went off camera on you, didn't I? Okay, I'm back. Okay, I'm going to leave purple. I might come back and do more later. But let's leave it for right now. And let's go either orange or green. Let's go green. So, and the reason, my thinking, what you hear me reflecting out loud is, for some reason in the broken color phase, I find it helpful to start out with the secondary colors: purple, green, orange. All right, so I'm mixing up a fairly high chroma, fairly intense green. And again, I'm talking out loud here. Thinking out loud is what I really mean. I've got green on my brushes. So my intuition says what? Well, my intuition says I should put some of this in these trees, because the trees have green. Not too much, as you can see, but they have green. But no, that's not, I mean, and I can, of course, if I see something like, ooh, this green would look good in that color. but that is not broken color. That doesn't qualify, right? I want to be looking anywhere in the painting, and this is a mid-tone, so it's not a real dark on my brushes. I want to be looking for anything that's not green. Like this orange up here. Most definitely not green. Yeah, that worked well. So I should be looking for any parts of the painting that are really opposite side of the color wheel. So reddish. I should be looking for reddish areas of the painting that would be made more interesting by doing some broken color green. Now I've mentioned, for me, some of where I was made aware of this. I remember hearing of broken color years ago, but it was brought back keenly, if you will, to my attention just in the last couple years because of my good friend David Foster. Thanks for answering that question, or Linda, whatever that was. I missed the question, but I see your answer. Part of my monthly painters forum. Good friend David Foster, good painter. We've been together for in our painters group for 10, 11, 12 years. And he was taking classes, online classes from, and I just drew a blank. It'll come back to me in a minute. Philip, I've mentioned this before. Anyway, he was taking classes from somebody else, and he would come to our, Phil Starks, there we go. And David would come to our painters forums and just share with us, of course, the things he had learned from Phil Starks. And Phil, I don't know if he does, like I'm doing, a distinct and separate layer of broken color, but he talks a good deal. He's a landscape artist, mostly, I believe. So it was I got it secondhand, if you will, from Phil Starks through my friend David Foster. It should be clear in everyone's mind the difference between broken color and broken values. Now, I don't do a separate broken value stage in my painting because my whole painting process is about intense play of light. So my native language, if you will, is all about broken values. All the punchy bits of light you see in all my paintings. So I don't enter into a separate stage, but the broken color, now that's another matter. See, I've heard David talking about it for months and months, and then went, you know what? My paintings would really benefit. And indeed, I believe they have. In fact, there's a little question in my mind that my paintings over the last 6 months, whatever it's been, not very long, are decidedly better because I've added this stage. All right, I'm going to stop with the green. Let's go on now. Orange. So there's a lot of orange in this painting already. After doing 3 secondary colors, and I could do light and dark of each of those, of course. But let's mix up some orange. And once again, there's already a lot of orange in my painting, but I'm going to be looking now at things that are not orange. So they're either the opposite of the color wheel from orange is blue and purple. So what is already on my painting. Here's a funny one, by the way. I've already done this some tonight. The very first broken color I did was purple, for instance, up here. And then there was quite a bit of purple. That meant when I did green, I could do green on top of the purple. Are you with me? And now I've got orange, so I can do orange on top of the purple. I can certainly do orange on top of the green. But again, I want to be looking for things that are either bluish or purple-ish. A little bit of static. Hi, Barbara. Yes, this is a commission. In fact, I'm doing two. This came to me through an art gallery here in Raleigh that I've never showed in. Yeah, so funny how things come sometimes. Yes, I'm doing two paintings there. They are indeed commissions. So I have this great big blue building. Perfect place for some orange. Does that make sense to you? If you're understanding the broken color concept, then that makes perfect sense to you. Why am I putting orange up there? The reason is because that building is blue. That's why I'm putting orange up there. Okay, now, of course, I'm answering the question in one sense, but on a bigger level, why am I putting orange on my blue building? Of course, the answer is because I think it looks cool, because I think it's going to make it look cool, because it does make it, because it did. I'm mixing up right now, by the way, a pale or lighter orange. I'm tickled. It does make it look better. Like, that is, that's enough. I don't want to overdo it. So where else? Here's a building that's got, I put purple on it because that was a broken color a minute ago, so now I can come back and do a little bit more orange on top of it. The orange that's on my brushes right now doesn't have quite as much punch as say the purple did, because there's already so much orange in the painting. So I'm going to stop there already. Let's go now to the three primary colors, and you know, I get my paints all mixed up. I can't remember. And I have separate. No, I don't have a. I was looking to see if I had a cad yellow light or a lemon yellow or a Hansa yellow up here in this studio, and I do not. So because I discovered the other day doing my great big painting that was really fun. Now I have something that will do very well, and that is Indian yellow. When mixed with white, it's not quite as cool as I would like. I have a little bit of Hansa left in the corner. Okay, but it's a very intense yellow, and frankly, this is a color that over the years I have used very little in my painting. I would say to a point of weakness. You know, I have a smart aleck. Forgive me, I know that's hard to believe, you guys who know me. What? But I do. I have a smart aleck answer to the question, what is your favorite color? I have a smart artist answer to that question. The answer is the right one. So, you know, as an artist, what should your favorite color be? And the answer is the right one. again, smart aleck answer, to make the point that as artists, that's all we care about, is that we put the right color in the right spot. Therefore, it's probably not a good thing for an artist to have a color that he or she rarely uses. In other words, it's probably not a good thing to have a unfavorite color, which I almost do. I favor warm yellows so strongly that I do have done many paintings that don't have a stitch, don't have a speck of cold yellow. Now, some of you are completely confused by that because you're confused. You thought all yellows were warm. Well, in the yellow range, there's a range from warm to cool, and cool yellows are over on the green end of the spectrum. So cad yellow light, Hansa yellow, lemon yellow, those are really just zingy lemon yellow colors. So as an artist, that should give me serious pause, like, really? There's a whole a category of color, bright, intense, cool yellow that I don't. So I've just added it. And that's enough. It's making me nervous. So I'm going to stop there. Let's go to another color. So I have two. That's even worse. I have two colors that I could list as my least favorite colors. And that, again, that makes me think, that's a weakness. I'm trying to think of a parallel. Well, yeah, here's a musician. On any instrument, an instrument, if a musician says, well, I don't like playing in the key of F sharp, well, it certainly may be true, but that's a distinct weakness on the part of that musician. That is not a strength. That's clearly a weakness. Okay, so here's the color that I don't like, and it is the other one besides bright yellow, and it is pink. Pinkish pink, bubblegum pink. I don't like it. That's a weakness. So I'm not saying, hooray for me, I don't like pink. I'm saying, ooh, I have a weakness, and it is, I don't care much for pink. So I've just mixed up some pink, and then it's a fairly light color. So again, broken color. I'm looking for areas right now that are fairly light. I hope that makes sense to you. As a musician, sure, you can say, I play the trumpet, for instance, my main instrument. To the extent some of you know that I try to practice every day. I'm a practicing musician. And on my trumpet, I have a routine. I play all 12 keys. You non-musicians have no idea what I'm talking about. I know. There's 12 different keys, major and minor in blues. And I practice them all equally. It takes me a couple weeks to go around all the way around the 12-tone scale, if you will, the 12-tone range. Anyway, and it would be a grave weakness if I say, ooh, I don't like playing in the key of A. And so that's the analogy I'm making right now. As a painter, not good for me to say, ooh, I don't like the color pink. I can say it if it's true, but it's something I want to fix. So, ironically, this broken color trick has exposed a weakness in me that I'm happy to get out. So right now I'm using pink again, a color that I do not naturally gravitate toward. It is so easy for me to see when I'm doing this, as I do this broken color stuff. So, that's too dark. So easy for me to see that my paintings get decidedly better, noticeably better. I love it, man. I can't wait to find out what's my next breakthrough, eh? What's the next thing that I'm going to discover that will take me to a completely different place? Oh, that was nice. Just a little stroke of pink on the side of that car. Yahoo. And finally, so again, you could do this forever, of course, but I've done the 3 secondary colors, purple, green, and orange. I've done 2 of the primary colors, yellow and red. I could do dark red, and I probably should. But before I do that, though, I'm going to go to blue. So again, mix up, and of course, there's a big difference between warm blues and cool blues. Cool blue is closer to purple. Warm blue is closer to green. Some of you might be confused by that. I don't want to give that whole lecture again. I'll just say this. There are 2 warms and 1 cool in 3 primary colors: yellow, orange, yellow, red, and blue. 2 of them are warm, 1 is cool. Blue is cool, orange and yellow are warm. Which one of those is warmest? In my book, orange is warmest. But straight up orange, no, yellow orange is warmest. So if you call that true north, then the very opposite on the color wheel is true south. That would mean purplish blue, like ultraviolet blue, is cooler than phthalo blue. Okay, so once again, I've got blue on my brushes. Therefore, I'm staying away from this blue building, staying away from the blue sky, and looking for any excuse, a place to put in a color where it, frankly, where it doesn't belong, where it does not make sense. I'm not trying to do congruity here. I'm not trying to do realism. This whole phase is intensely abstract. Very intentionally abstract. So I'm looking for any places where there's orange. I can fuzz a little blue on top of it, or do a few blue dots on top of it. Almost finished here. And yes, I'm happy to say painting is better. More interesting. No doubt about it. I'm going to switch now to a warm blue. So I just picked up some phthalo. And quite a bit darker. And definitely very high chroma. What's on my brush now is quite an intense blue. Very intense blue. Boy, that really screams out loud. But it's a good scream. Can there be such a thing as a good scream? Yeah. Again, the main trick is trying to match values. Whatever lightness, darkness is on your brush, try to put it in places that match that lightness, darkness. They're the same value, but different color. little surprising bits of color. That's a good description of this broken color layer. Surprises, color surprises. And I'm actually going to go all the way around to purple again, which is where I started. I'm just doing smudges of violet, purple down here in this, too much brown down here, right? So I just made it a little more interesting, adding more purple. Put those brushes down. I want to do a little bit more. So coming around for seconds now. Nearly finished, but I'm going to mix up some dark green. The last time I came through with the green, it was a fairly light green. So now I've got dark green. Quite dark. So I'm looking for dark areas. Especially, oh, here's something. I haven't said this yet, but I'm discovering this. One of the real benefits, advantages to doing this broken color as a completely separate stage or phase of the painting process is that, like right now at the moment, my eye is really zooming in, looking for dark areas, bits of dark paint on my canvas that are dull, that are low chroma, like that I painted with too, bad grammar, listen to me, too dark of a color, too dull, too not, and does that make sense? So right now, for instance, I have a very dark green, and I'm just going around looking for bits of the painting, like these. I had a couple of lampposts here that I painted very dark, and they don't need to be dark. No, I don't. That's not what I mean. They do need to be dark. They don't need to be black holes. Let me zoom in. Here's one, for instance. Do you see this spot right here? Kind of, it's dark purple, but it's just too dark, and it's dull. Now you just come in there and hit that with green, and suddenly that little black hole is no longer a black hole. It's still dark, it still reads as dark, but now it's got interesting chroma in it. So there you go. There's one very specific and very, very practical reason for doing this broken color as a separate layer, which is to add color to your painting. So now I've got a dark reddish brown. So I'm in the orange range again. So again, coming around for seconds. Now I'm back in secondary colors, and dark brown is essentially a very dark orange, and I'm just looking for parts of the painting that are color holes, black holes. They don't need to be black. They need to be dark, but they don't need to be colorless. I don't like that one mark I made down there, so I'm going to paint with a rag. There we go. Man, just that alone is improving my painting so much. That is so clear to me. Is there any other part of any area of the painting, like, whoops, I'm sorry, I got off. Here's an area where some very dark green foliage, and that's fine, but it's darker than it needs to be. So it's a bit of a black hole, and I don't really mean black, but it's a bit of a low chroma hole, if you will. Here's another one, Right here, the driver's side window of this car is dark and low chroma. Do you know what I mean by that? It's dark and uncolorful. So I'm glad I thought to mention that. It dawned on me last week when I was doing the broken color layer. It's like, ooh, here's something I can literally bring my entire painting up to a new level. Yeah, some of these windows up here, they can go. I'm mixing up a paler brown right now. They don't have to be as low chroma as they are. They do have to be dark, but they don't have to be. I'm calling them black holes, even though they're not black. They're low chroma holes. Wow, what a great discovery! Wow, my painting is just now. It's just dancing with color. Much more interesting than it was. That excites me a great deal, boy. Simply by taking the dark areas and adding color to them. All right, I think I'm going to call that done. I'm going to call it a day. So tomorrow, I don't know if I'll be painting here. I'm scheduled to paint at some kind of event in downtown Raleigh. I don't even know exactly what it is or where it is, but it's on my calendar. And if I do that, I certainly hope to broadcast out on the street with you tomorrow, which is too bad because I really want to finish this painting, but that's all right. So I have a couple stages, a couple layers left on this painting. This is, I finished with the quote-unquote final edit, and now I'm doing broken color. This will all be dry tomorrow or Sunday or Monday, whenever I get back to it, and it'll be glazes over the whole thing. Whatever colors I want, any color I want, glazes. And then final touch-up. I don't know what to call that after the glazes. I don't have a cute name for that stage of the process. Am I going to quit? How many people does it take to do a painting? 2. 1 to paint, 1 to shoot them. Before he ruins it. All right. I keep saying that and I keep going. Really, I'm quitting. I promise. I promise. I'm quitting. All right, that's it. Thanks for watching. Hey, let me look at your chat. Thank you guys for leaving a comment. Let's see what you said here before I go. Sorry about the color, about the sound snafu there at the beginning, but thanks you guys for letting me know. Susan, have I painted the street before? Only 100 times. This is our main street in downtown Raleigh. Yes, I don't know if that was a joke or not. Hey, UO12, thank you for your nice compliment. And Erlinda answers, Susan, yes, he has. That's correct, Erlinda. That's exactly right. Here's one of the same street looking the other direction is one of the references that I'm using for this painting. Foxhole Willie, bring back the ponytail. I wish I could, man. I abandoned it when it became untenable. Rats, because that was the real me. The real me has a ponytail to this day. Way to go, Erlinda. Glad to hear I'm helping you get loose. Most of my students are women. I don't I don't know why it is that way. And so whenever I teach a class, I say at the end of this class, I want a room full of loose women. Bad joke, I know. Uncle 57, are you mixing and glazing medium into broken colors? A good question. Only enough. I'm using enough liquid just to make sure that they dry fairly quickly. That's all, but not intentionally. The broken colors are fairly opaque. Just enough, tiny bit of liquid to make them dry fast. And Erlinda says, my favorite color scheme is the client's favorite color scheme. Good word. Good word. Okay, Barbara, did I explain broken color? I hope I did. I was hoping to. I'll do it again, so stick around and I'll just explain it again. Erlinda, perspective. Wow. We might talk about that someday. That is certainly an issue for all of us. Beautiful, beautiful. Thanks for stalking me, Erlinda. I am humbled and honored to have you on board. Appreciate it very much. All right. Thanks, guys. If you like that, give me a thumbs up and subscribe and share. And if you don't like it, just keep that to yourself. Thanks for watching. Marcos just came in and see it's already ending. Oh, thank you. Sorry about that, Marcos. Yep, finishing. I hope to broadcast again tomorrow. But maybe not on this painting. So